GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers. Navigating the insidious illness of Alzheimer's is something nobody asks for. The disease sneaks up on you and your loved one, and it feels like you've been sucker punched in the gut. Then you ask, where do we turn for help? Who do we call? What do we do? These questions and more are what we hope to answer and give you some direction and hope. Now let's join our host, Jeff Edwards.
Greetings and welcome. This is GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers, episode 61, or The Nose Knows. Dieting can be helpful, and hurricane season is upon us. How's everybody doing? Great, I hope. Thanks for joining us. It's a wild week. We attended a really nice event this past week in Naples, Florida, with the Alzheimer's Association. It was a Collier 2025 community breakfast to emphasize the workplace impact of Alzheimer's and inspire leaders to champion the cause. And it's all tied into Walk to End Alzheimer's. We'll have more about that later in the program. It was held at this gorgeous place called Moorings Park, Grand Lakes, a gorgeous facility. My goodness. Here's what we're going to talk about this week. A smell test can spot early dementia. Improving your diet in middle age can lower dementia's risk. And hurricane preparedness for dementia caregivers, guidance, and essential tips. Okay, the rules we follow here at GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers are simple, but very important. 1, you have to take care of yourself, because if something happens to you, who is going to take care of your loved one? 2, you can't do it alone. You need help. Find good caregiver groups or network with friends or relatives. 3, make a list of people, friends, relatives, coworkers who have offered to help you in time of need, and then make a list of things you need done but can't do yourself because caregiving duties are overwhelming, and they are. Use the lists. Start at the top and keep going till you get what you need done. You're going to find it very helpful. Number 4, create a help signal. Identify a cue or phrase to confirm your loved one is comfortable with receiving help. Something your loved one can remember or write it down on an index card or something so they can save it and locate it. Will help put them at ease, and it'll make it easier on you. So let's jump right into it. A smell test that can spot early dementia. Hit it, Jammer. You know the old saying, the nose knows. Well, a smell test can spot early dementia. That's right. The nose might know whether a person is showing early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's disease, a new study says. That's right. Older adults who have developed mild cognitive impairment, a precursor to dementia and Alzheimer's, scored lower on a peel and sniff test than people with normal brains, according to findings published March 24th in the journal Scientific Reports. This sort of test can be taken at home to provide an early red flag for future declines in brain functions, researchers said. The goal has been to develop and validate a cost-effective, non-invasive test that can be performed at home, helping to set the stage for advancing research and treatment for Alzheimer's. Senior researcher Dr. Mark Albers, a neurologist at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, said in a news release. Early detection of cognitive impairment could help us identify people who are at risk of Alzheimer's disease and intervene years before memory symptoms begin, Albers added. In the test, participants sniff odor labels that have been placed on a card to assess their ability to identify, remember, and discriminate between different scents. People sample each odor, and then they name the odor from a set of 4 options. Questions follow about how sure they are of their selection. Now, overall, the ability to identify and remember odors declines with age, researchers found in administering their test to a group of 127 people with healthy brains. But a small group of 19 people diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment scored even lower on a smell test than seniors with intact brain function, results showed. The test results were similar across English and Spanish speakers, and participants successfully performed the test whether or not they were helped by a research assistant, they found. Our results suggest that olfactory testing could be used in clinical research settings in different languages and older adults to predict neurodegenerative disease and development of clinical symptoms, Albers said. However, more study is needed to further validate the test and to see how it might fit in with other cognitive testing for dementia and Alzheimer's, researchers noted. Pretty interesting. I have a good sense of smell, but I don't know how I do on this test.
We'll be right back to GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
Are you the caregiver for someone living with dementia? You're not alone.
I was a caregiver for my wife for 10 years, and it was a lot of work.
I'm a caretaker for my wife who has Alzheimer's.
I'm a caregiver of my husband that has CTE, and it's incredibly challenging.
The Dubin Center in Fort Myers has been offering free educational classes and support since 1995.
The Dubin Center has helped me exponentially with so many questions answered. It's just been great.
This is GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
Improving diet in middle age lowers dementia risk. It's never too late to start eating right as a means of protecting your brain health, a new study says. People who improve their healthy eating in middle age had a 25% lower risk of dementia compared to those whose diets got worse, according to findings reported today at a meeting of the American Society for Nutrition, ASN. Quote, our study findings confirmed that healthy dietary patterns in mid to late life and their improvement over time may prevent Alzheimer's and related dementias, researcher Song Yi Park, an associate professor at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, said in a news release. This suggests that it's never too late to adopt a healthy diet to prevent dementia, she added. For the study, researchers analyzed data from nearly 93,000 adults taking part in a long-term health study. Participants were between 45 and 75 when the study started in the 1990s, and more than 21,000 people developed Alzheimer's disease or dementia in the years that followed. Study participants filled out diet questionnaires, and researchers assessed their responses to gauge their adherence to the MIND diet, and that stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. That's why they call it the MIND diet. The MIND diet combines a Mediterranean diet with a DASH diet, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, two eating patterns that have been shown to improve people's health. It emphasizes whole grains, vegetables, nuts, beans, berries, poultry, and fish, while recommending that people limit pastries, sweet, red meat, cheese, fried food, and butter or margarine, according to the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Now, overall, people whose diets aligned with the MIND eating pattern from the start had a 9% lower risk of dementia. An even greater reduction of 13% was seen among Black, Hispanic, or white people, the results showed. Quote, we found that the protective relationship between a healthy diet and dementia was more pronounced among African Americans, Latinos, and whites, while it was not as apparent among Asian Americans and showed a weaker trend in Native Hawaiians, Park said. A tailored approach may be needed when evaluating different subpopulations' diet quality. However, people whose diets grew closer to the MIND diet over a 10-year period had a 25% lower risk of dementia, even if they didn't follow that eating pattern closely at first, researchers found. Now, Park presented the study at the ASN meeting in Orlando, Florida. Findings presented at medical meetings should be considered preliminary until published in a peer-reviewed journal, and that is the way it's supposed to be. This was an article written by Dennis Thompson, published Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Hurricanes can be a stressful time for everyone, but especially for individuals with dementia and their caregivers. Preparing in advance is crucial to ensure safety and minimize anxiety during these challenging events. Here are 5 steps caregivers can take now to prepare for a hurricane, focusing on creating a safe and comfortable environment for loved ones. Number 1, assemble an emergency kit. A well-stocked emergency kit is vital and should include items like medication, medical records, and comfort items for the person living with dementia. Number 2, create an evacuation plan. Develop a detailed evacuation plan well in advance. Find out the locations of nearby hurricane shelters that can accommodate individuals with dementia. Check and see if they have specific provisions or support for people with cognitive impairments. Number 3, secure important documents. This can include legal documents like power of attorney and wills, medical information, including a list of medications, allergies, and emergency contact information. 4, ensure safety and comfort during the hurricane. Maintain a calm environment and provide reassurance. Keep familiar items available and simple activities. Recognize signs of agitation and anxiety so you can use calming techniques like deep breathing and gentle rocking. Number 5, use effective communication. Communication can be challenging during a stressful event. Speak slowly and clearly. Repeat information using the same words each time, and avoid arguing, but instead validate their feelings and offer reassurance. Preparing for a hurricane requires careful planning and consideration, especially when caring for someone with dementia. By following these steps, you can minimize stress and keep your loved one safe during a hurricane. Remember to stay calm, be patient, and provide reassurance throughout the event. Learn more about these and other disaster prep tips in a free virtual webinar. Are you ready? Disaster Preparedness for Caregivers, June 25th at 12 p.m. And you can go to alz.org and you'll find their website and you'll find the information. The information we just went over came from the Alzheimer's Association. It's good, but it's not as in-depth as we got into last season. And as we move through June and into July, we'll revisit the in-depth information that we shared and go through that again, most likely in late July. Hopefully, there's no hurricanes prior to that, but we'll stay on top of it. Plus, we'll be talking with a retired National Weather Service meteorologist who has saved my butt a few times with his timely and detailed information regarding hurricanes. He has been spot on with data and a different look at the hurricanes that seem to want to attack Florida. He's a character, and you'll enjoy his energetic personality as he talks about hurricanes. That will be coming up.
We'll be right back to Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever. Because now we have treatments that could change everything. But now is no time to stop. Now we've got momentum, so now we use it. Now we seize the moment. Now we turn the tide. Now we make a difference and make some noise. Now is the time to get up, get out, and join the movement. At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, held in over 600 communities nationwide, and we need you with us. Because now is the time for hope. Join the fight at alz.org/walk.
This is Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
We've been mentioning the upcoming Walk to End Alzheimer's 2025. Teams are being formed in your towns and cities. There are 626 locations around the country, and the easiest way to find out about your town, go to the Alzheimer's Association website, which is alz.org. In the search box, type in Walk to End, and then scroll down, put in your zip code, and you'll be directed to more information. This year, Gut Punch Alzheimer's and Caregivers will have our own team. And if you'd like to be part of it, let us know. You can shoot me an email at gutpunchedac@outlook.com or jeff@gutpunch.com. We're looking for our listeners to join the team, help raise some money, and of course, walk if possible. In Lee County, the walk will be on November 8th, and the walk in Naples will be on November 22nd. That means we have about 5 months to raise money for the cause, and we'll be talking about this a lot as the year progresses. Help us help others in the fight against Alzheimer's. Thank you very much. Hopefully there was something you heard today that you could use in your caregiver's journey. Next episode, we'll be talking with Morgan Van Dyke from Assisting Hands Home Care, and we'll be discussing mid-stages of Alzheimer's. Now, she's been here before and has a tremendous amount of experience on this topic. For more information, you can check out the Alzheimer's Support Network at alzsupport.org/about-us. To find your local chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, you can visit alg.org/local resources/find your local chapter. Or you can call them on their toll-free hotline at 1-800-272-3900. Our friends at the Dubin Center, located at dubincenter.com. Dr. Perry's HealthSpan Partners website is https://healthspansouthwestflorida.com. And for more information on the guide, it's probably easier to just Google it, Edge it, or DuckDuckGo it. Now, we finally have a GutPunched Alzheimer's Caregivers group on Facebook. So look for that. You'll find it on Facebook, or as some people call it, the Book of Faces, under Jeff Edwards or gutpunched.com. It's called GutPunched Alzheimer's and Caregivers Group. It's easy to remember. I can do it. You can do it. We're looking for caregivers who would like to share their story, the good, the bad, and, maybe you have a victory you'd like to tell us about. We'll call it GutPunched Stories from the Front Lines of Caregiving. Reach out to us. Send us an email at gutpunchedac@outlook.com. Our website is gutpunched.com, and I just gave you the email address, or you can reach me at jeff@gutpunched.com. Help us grow and share this podcast with others who has someone who has a family member or friends who are dealing with a loved one who has Alzheimer's or any type of dementia, that you would let them know about this podcast. They may need information and resources. There is help and hope out there for everybody. You just must know where and how to find it, and that's why we're here. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the podcast, and please leave us a 5-star review. Thank you, BJ. Thanks for joining us, and please come back again. God bless.
This has been Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers, with your host, Jeff Edwards. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to us on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple, Pandora, and more. If you have a question or want to get in touch, our email is gutpunchedac@outlook.com.